Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be teaching you on how to use WebSock, which is a component of AI-SOC, AI-powered security operations center built by Silence AI. So first, as you come up to this specific webpage, you would need to register. Right here, you got to enter your email, username, password, confirmation password, etc. So after the first step, you would need to set up the two-factor authentication using Google Authenticator application written right here. You can download it in Apple App Store or Google Play Store. As you open the app, you would need to click on the plus icon located at the bottom right, and you would need to select the QR code option and just scan this QR code. Everything is simple as it is. And as you add this QR code into Google Authenticator application, you're going to see 6-digit codes that is being updated every 60 seconds. So you would need to enter that specific 6-digit code right into here. And right after that, the interface is being opened up. And right now, you would need to top up the balance here. So you would need to click on your profile. And right here, there's the button that says top up your balance. Don't pay attention to the current balance. I have already topped up it. So you can enter the amount right here. For example, $100, create payments. And here's the payment window popping up. Here you can select the currency with which you'd like to top up the balance. And also you're going to see multiple options to pay with. You can pay with link without filling out the form on your card information, or you can fill out the form of card information, pay with that option as well. And right after you have topped up your balance, you're going to see the balance change in the profile section. And right after that one, you can register your website that needs to be secured. You can click on the button data source selection, and right after that, you would need to click on register new agent. Here, you would need to enter the domain name, the IP address of your website, just like that, and click on register. After that, you would need to verify the ownership of the domain name and ownership of that specific website that is running on that specific IP address. And these specific steps are being done just for verificational purposes. It doesn't provide any cybersecurity functionality to your website. Why do we need that? We need that just to make sure that our traffic that is being forwarded from the reverse proxy of ours with our IP address is not being forwarded to somebody else's web server. And for those cases, we need to verify the ownership of that specific web server that is running on the specific IP address that you have entered in the previous step. And here you would need to copy the meta tag. You can enter it in various ways. There's the key, there's the content, and the name values of the meta tag. And here you would need to copy the meta tag and add this specific meta tag into the main web page of your web server. Me specifically, I'm using VS Code, so I'm going to just ask AI to do that for me to add this specific meta tag into the main web page. I have already prepared the message for it, and I'm going to click enter. So as AI is going to finish their job, the process of updating the website might be different for every single one of you. Me personally, I'm sending the latest version of my website to GitHub, and from GitHub, I'm pulling the latest changes inside of the virtual machine. This might be different for you if you have Kubernetes or your website is being maybe run on Vercel. So let me push the changes and update my website. So right after I have updated my website to the latest version of it, I'm going to proceed with this step 2. So you would need to add this DNS records into your DNS configurator. So me personally, I'm using Cloudflare. I have entered the name of the DNS record and also the target of it, selecting the type of DNS record to be CNAME. I'm going to save the changes, and I'm going to verify the ownership. Everything is being correctly set up, and right now we see the third step, which is the last step. And this specific step is needed to add the security to your website, to add your website into this specific cybersecurity system. How is it being done? So our reverse proxy needs to be added as the A record into your DNS configurations. So all of the traffic that is going to your domain is going to our reverse proxy. And from our reverse proxy, all of the traffic is going to be forwarded into your website. I'm talking about specifically the legitimate traffic. Functionally, our reverse proxy is receiving all of the traffic, is filtering out the legitimate traffic, and only sending the legitimate traffic to your server, to your IP address. And since the reverse proxy is receiving all of that data, the reverse proxy is creating the data chunks that would represent the number of IP addresses on the website, the bandwidth volume, the RPS value, and all of that data is being stored just in numbers. we don't store any raw formatted requests that is being sent to your domain. We only store the numbers so that you will be able to see your data in a visualized format. So let me add the IP address of the reverse proxy into the DNS configurator as the A record. You can add your domain as a string, but you can also add this tag. So as you might see right here, the website has successfully been connected and the security system has already been activated. And also the security system doesn't only secure your website, it also provides you with the opportunity to see all the information about the current web traffic, and also all of that current web traffic is being archived so you can see the traction of it. So right now you can see all the traffic that is coming from specific countries by RPS, by the number of active users, by the bandwidth volume. And all of that data is being represented country by country. So we can see that some of the requests is coming from KZ, some of the requests is coming from, I guess that's the Dutchland or Netherlands, whatever you want to call it like. And also we can see some of the requests from the US. When you hover over a specific country, as you might see on the left, there's a little window that appears and shows you the details on the requests on the web traffic that's coming from that certain country. And also you can open up the lower section, and you can see all of that information in better detail. So you can see the top countries by number of the users. The value is the same. That's why we don't see any difference here. And top countries by bandwidth volume. Here you can see the bandwidth value in bytes. Also, you can see here the top countries by the request per second value. Also, all of that data is being archived, and you can see the archive of that data specifically in this window right here. You can select the number of active IP addresses over a specific period of time, let's say 1 day, and you can see the traction. For example, we see that over this specific period of time, there were 2 IP addresses at 8 p.m., 8:50. And also we can see the traction in bandwidth. So as we might see, the graph is being beautifully changed. So all of that traffic is being visible in RPS volume. As you might see right here, the peak was 115 requests per second, and it was at 5 p.m. We also provide the functionality of blacklisting the countries right here. So there is a list of all the countries that are being recognized by the United Nations, and you can add one of these countries into the blacklist so that the website won't be available for the users from that specific country. And for example, right now I'm from Latvia, and I can send the request to the website that I have connected right here. As you might see, the domain is silence.codes, and I have specifically added silence.codes into the web protection system. And I can see that the requests are perfectly coming. The website is available in Latvia, but as soon as I add Latvia into the blacklist, the website will be not available. So let me do that right here. I'm going to search for Latvia. I'm going to add it into the blacklist. And now the country has appeared into the list of blacklisted countries. I'm going to close this window and try to send the request into the website from Latvia. As you might see, we see the 403 code that says forbidden. And the website, as you might notice, is not available from Latvia. I sent plenty of requests, I won't be able to reach the. But as soon as I remove Latvia from the list of blacklisted countries right here, so as you might see, I can remove it. And now the list of blacklisted countries is empty. I'm going to see Latvia from the list of non-blacklisted countries right here. And thus, I will be able to reach the website from Latvia. Also, there is a settings bar right here on the top left. Here you can select the language, here you can select the time zone as well, the payment history is visible as well, the customization of the globe is available as well, so you can set the globe to be blue, and you're going to be able to see the globe in the blue color. But I'm going to be going with the primary one, the default one. And talking about the heat map on the right, it represents the range of the web traffic. For example, we can select the active users here, and we can see the value, which is the highest value being 0.67 to 1 active IP address on the website. And we can see the maximum value coming from KZ. We can see the maximum value coming from Latvia, and we can change that variable to bandwidth, for example, and see the traffic going through in terms of the bandwidth. And also all of that traffic is visible in RPS. The range is visible here as well. The maximum that is being set is 0.87. So For example, if we would have a country that wouldn't be sending a lot of the requests onto our website, it would be drawn in medium color or in the color of green. Talking more specifically about this, we have some of the ranges here, right? So we have the high range, we have the medium range, and we have the low range. And there is a specific value in numbers that represent that range. So for example, if we would have the number of requests per second from the total amount of users from a specific country, for example, like Kazakhstan right here, we would see that country in its own specific range. So for example, we have some of the requests from Kazakhstan right here, and we have medium range of requests coming from Latvia. Why medium? Because Latvia is sending less requests. That is inside of the medium range here. So inside of the medium range, there are the users. There's one user from Latvia that is sending 1.13 requests per second on average over the last 30 seconds. And here's the user from Kazakhstan that is sending on average 3 requests every single 30 seconds. And for example, if we would have a country, let's say Mongolia, and that guy is sending the low amount of requests that falls within the low range of the requests. So he's sending maybe 1 request in 30 seconds. That specific user, that specific country would be drawn in green because that specific country is falling within the range of the low RPS value. So that user is sending from 0.01 to 0.038 requests per second. Talking about specifically around 0.3 requests because he's sending 1 request per second and he has sent only 1 request over 30 seconds. Let's consider another case here in the number of active IP addresses. So for example, we have 1 user from Denmark, 1 user from Latvia, and 1 user from Kazakhstan. So for example, if we would have 100 users being the maximum value in the number of active IP addresses coming from a specific country, then that value would be set as the highest value, as the maximum value. And thus, the range of the highest value would be set from 67 users to 100 users. The medium range would be set from 33 users to 67 users. The lowest range would be set from 1 user to 33 users. And the rest of the countries that have no traffic coming from them would be drawn in white. And let's consider the case when Kazakhstan has 100 users. From Denmark, we have 33 users. And from Latvia, we have only 1 user. Then every single country would be drawn in its own color. Kazakhstan would be in blue, Denmark would be in yellow, and Latvia would be in green. I hope that this tutorial was very informative for you. Thanks everybody for watching, and see you in the later video.